What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Tiger Tea. I'm Tyler, and today I'm going to be watching some another new, first time I've ever watched any video from them, ice cream sandwich, and I'm going to do their bad customers video. I'm assuming, well, I guess I can see the description right here, but even before I saw that, I was assuming it was just going to be them talking about any sort of bad customers they've had. I'm assuming it's gonna be like retail, because I think that's always like the classic sort of like stereotype is that retail customers are just awful. Which I did work in retail for a very short amount of time, but I did work there for a little less than a year, maybe. But I'm fully aware um, that retail workers have to put up with a lot. So yeah, let's see what they have to say.
Look at me. Look at my eyes. Do I look like
Gross.
somebody who likes to work? Or do I look like somebody who likes to eat pizza like a cookie? Personally, I think
You
it's
know
kind
what?
of weird
That's
how much
yeah.
we're expected to work in high school. Like, you have to go and serve people McDoubles for 4 hours and then go home and suffer X. That's a lot of work. Does anybody
That's
else
true.
think
That's true.
crazy? Or am I crazy? I am crazy. I really did not want to get a job when I was growing up. I don't like to work. I just like the money. But if you want to
Fair.
go to the
I
movie
agree.
theater with
I
your
relate.
buddies, you gotta have the cash. One ticket, your total is $20. For my first job, I
Some
wanted
sweet
to
Minecraft
avoid
reference.
food service because I feared people would be a little bit more abrasive when it comes to their meals. You'll find rude customers anywhere, but I just feel like when food's involved, things get a little hairy.
That's what they say, right? Food service is like the worst.
Onions? I don't care about onions. I ended up working somewhere that's not food, which I will show you through example. That's right, my very first job was here at the UPS store.
Oh, nice.
Not really that great. Just a regular job. Don't worry about that. When I turned the age of 16,
I
my
imagine
dad helped
UPS
me
is a
network with
fairly
the local
decent
UPS store and get me a
job, especially a
Thank
first
you, Dad,
one.
for helping me do that because at that age I was not the proper candidate for being an employee. While
That's
working
true,
there,
yeah.
I met a lot of really nice people.
When you're in
and a lot of
school, it's
really
like
cool
there's
people.
nothing you can
But
do.
when you work in retail,
You just
it's
gotta hope
impossible
that
to
the
not
person
meet
gives you a
some,
chance.
How would I say this in a nice way? Outliers. So one time this woman and her daughter came into the store and they said they needed to ship something. When you ship something out of the UPS store, you gotta ask a bunch of questions like, where is it going? Is it going internationally? Do I need to be worried about what's in this box? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm going through these questions and entering information into the computer as I did with any customer. But apparently, that was a wrong thing to do. Because she unfolded her cane, which apparently just turned into a chair, sits down and says, this is gonna take a while. Excuse me? Why would you say that? You could say a million things to me. Why not compliment me? Why not say, wow, Andy, your eyes look beautiful today?
Gross.
She was shipping internationally, which means I had to do extra steps to make sure it gets there. So after a minute or so, she turns to me and says, you guys should really have the computers on our side of the desk so we can do it faster than you. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you know all
What?
the rules and regulations for shipping overseas? Do you know how this computer works? No. The worst part about rude customers is that you can't say anything despite if they're wrong or not. The customer is not always right, and the person who coined that
In
famous
fact,
phrase
in
is very
fact,
wrong,
customers
and
usually
probably
wrong.
was also a customer. I think if
It's
you
like,
think
I
something's
work
wrong,
here.
they're gonna yell back at you. Or at the very least, you get to tell them that they're mean and make them leave. You're mean! I've only ever
That'd be
encountered these
nice.
kinds of people at work, and I've never seen them in the wild. But if I did, and I didn't have to keep my mouth shut because I didn't work there, then I'd go right up to them and say, you're mean! Anyway, then there was this other time when this guy tried to ship drugs. That day was particularly slow. Nobody was coming in, and it was just me and my coworker, Tony. Tony and I got along really well, because neither of us like to work. I want to go home. Me too. At one point, a guy comes in to buy just a single box. Simple, easy, he's in and out in a jiffy. But 5 minutes later, he comes back in, same box, but now something's packed up inside it. I saw the box and how he packed it, and he did the thing where he kind of fold the flaps on top of each other, which is a
Yeah.
problem because then it just falls out if it's
Yeah.
not taped. Can I get a description of
It
what's
doesn't
in
really
this
work.
box? It's private. I mean, we just need a general description, like, is it food, perishable? It's microchips. Okay. Microchips. Now, because the box wasn't properly taped, Tony came over and was gonna tape it up for me while I was helping him on the computer. But the guy stops Tony. I just need to retape the box really quick so it doesn't come out during shipment. The tape's free if that's what you're worried about. Oh, Okay. He timidly allows us to do that, which I don't really know what his end game was, because we opened the box and there was weed. So we can't ship this. I'm no expert on illegal trade of illicit goods, but I know a thing or
Why
two
didn't
about
you like
shipping,
put it in a
and
bag
I know
or
that
something? Like
drugs, you
is it
can't do
loose,
that.
just
That's a
loose drugs in a
no-no zone.
box?
We opened the box because we needed to redo the flaps so we could tape it properly. So if he just came in with the box taped, we wouldn't have known what he was shipping. There's no x-ray machine at the UPS store to see what's inside the box. The only missing component here was tape. More than anything, the situation just was awkward. Okay. That's, sorry.
I mean, I guess it could have been worse. They could have been like
Dude,
irate.
Here's some advice. If you want to ship drugs, don't. Then there's this other time where this guy tried to overnight a misshapen magazine. This time I was working alone. It was a night shift. It's dark out. And this guy comes in holding a magazine. Hello, sir. I can help you at this register. Oh, he's just getting an envelope. Probably to ship that magazine. Is he packing it up back there? Is he trying to hide something from me? Weird. I want to go home. I'd like to ship this next day air, please. When you ship like a piece of paper next day air, UPS has this special envelope that makes it cheaper. And I saw that he's trying to do that. So I talked to him about it. Oh, actually, we have these special envelopes that cut you a deal, so it's cheaper to ship next day air. At first, he was hesitant about that, which is definitely a red flag.
Yeah, which is strange. It's like, why wouldn't you want to save money?
Ship through the special envelope, and why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
You could spend $100 on buying, like, I don't know, Five Guys. That's a
Fair.
lot of Five Guys. Five Guys is good.
I don't know about that much Five Guys. Five Guys kind of expensive.
So it was weird that he hesitated. I eventually talked him into it because I think he was like catching on that I was catching on that he was being suspicious. So I started typing in the information for him, and he started to move the magazine from the envelope he picked up already to the other envelope that I offered him. And while he was doing this, I saw that it had a big weird lump in it. So that's another red flag. 2 for 2, baby. Why was the magazine bulgy? Is he shipping drugs? Oh my God, this is like $1,000. Who is he sending this to? What if it's the mob? Well, now I have my fingerprints on it. And then I sent it out. I don't want to get involved with the mob or whoever that was. I was 16, alone in this store at night, and not paid enough for it to be my problem. I guess now that I'm on the topic of illicit substance distribution, there was this other guy. He would always come into the store and be like, hey, I shipped a box to your store, and it's big. And we'd be like, oh, is this the one? Yeah, that's the one.
Nice.
The other customers, this guy was very easy to deal with and really charming.
Nice.
One day, a couple of other customers came in, and they're like, hello, we're the police. They asked to see the manager, and they talked to him. And then a couple days later, that guy picked up a box and then was arrested in the parking lot. Turns out he was importing a lot of opium. I think it was around this time that I realized I miscalculated when I passed up all those food service jobs. But then again, is any retail job good enough? I don't know. I bet I would have had a better time at Five Guys. Stop eating the french fries. Hindsight's 2020. Other stuff that happened. One dude asked me if the narwhal bacon's at midnight, which was very cringe. And trust me, I know cringe. A bunch of cheerleaders burst into the store, cheered, ran in a circle, and then left. We suspect they were just trying to cause a commotion while their friends would steal things, but then realized there was nothing interesting to steal at a UPS store.
Yeah, it's a UPS. Like, what was your plan?
They would often come in and try to ship bath salts, which... Again, I'm not paid enough for that. A man wanted me to send faxes, and then when I told him the number wasn't working, he shook the paper in my face and yelled, fax! It's not working. Fax! Another dude wanted me to help him with his email because the government was hacking his email.
Strange.
There's a guy that would come in a lot and tell us about word affirmation, but thought that it was literally magic and not just a self-motivator, and told us that the sounds in our voices affected atoms and quarks on the quantum level and would make things a reality. For example, like if you just said, I have a juicy booty, I have a juicy booty, I have a juicy booty, then it would be true. There was always the classic handful of people that would knock on the door after we were closed.
Oh God, that happens at every store. Every store.
And that's all that I can think about. If you subscribe, I will throw this box, help me, into a volcano. Thank you, Villa, for helping me animate this video. And that's everything. Now I'm gonna play myself out.
So yeah, that was pretty much what I expected. But yeah, there are definitely some good stories in there. Shipping drugs is interesting. It's like I don't know. I feel like those types of customers, the ones that would be put in a video like this, they just don't think. You know what I mean? They just don't think before they walk into the store. It's just like, if we're just taking the like drug guy for example, it's like, yeah, if you just came in here prepared, nothing would have happened. Cause like, um, I don't ever ship stuff. There's no reason for me to. But there was one time where I had to return a pair of shoes because I accidentally ordered the wrong size, like an idiot. And so it was still in like the original box because it was in like the shoe box. The shoe box was in like a cardboard box because they don't just ship loose shoe boxes. That wouldn't work. Um, and so yeah, I just went in there and I already had tape at my house, so I taped it up. Um, but I needed the return sticker. And the way they did it was that if you're going to return something, they will send you the return sticker and they just have to show, they do it by email. And then when you go to the UPS store, you'd be like, hey, I got this email. Can you print the return sticker, slap it on the box, and then return my item, please? Um, and so, yeah, I went there and I had everything pretty much prepared. I didn't have the email pulled up instantly, which I felt like an idiot. Again, it took me like 3 minutes to find it. Even though I favorited it in my email, couldn't find it for like 3 minutes. So I was kind of stressing. Luckily there wasn't really anybody there. But yeah, they didn't really ask me what was inside. I guess maybe it was obvious if they looked at the return sticker. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like if you come prepared, like in that extreme example with the guy who was trying to ship drugs, it's like if you just came prepared, like if you just you didn't have to tape it yourself, I guess, but if you just folded it correctly, or hey, why is it just loose? Put it in like a bag or like I don't know. Do you have a shoebox you can just stuff? Like again, they're not like poke around in your box of stuff. You know what I mean? They just had to reopen it because you did the flaps wrong. And so as they were reopening it to do the flaps correctly, they had to look inside because that's what your eyes do. So just like you come prepared, no issues. Um, yeah, and then the other thing I want to talk about was the whole people after the store is closed will like knock and be like, "Hey, you open?" Or "Hey," or some people try to bargain with you. It's like, "Well, I just need to come in real quick. I just need to get some of this, some of that," and it's like, "No, dog. Like you had all day. If you literally came here 5 minutes earlier, I could help you out. The store's closed." Because then it's like, how long do you keep the buffer? Like, is it 5 minutes? It's like, oh, store closes at 9, but 9:05, you can really come, and it's like, well, what if someone comes in, you let them in at 9:05, and then like they're leaving as someone else comes in, and it's like, well, 5 more minutes. You know what I mean? It's like where like there are rules for a reason, because without rules there'd be no rules and be chaos. You know what I mean? Person will be sitting there until 10:30 because people just keep coming in because they can. Um, happens all the time. But yeah, I thought that was a good video. I thought that perfectly, exemplified what it's like to work in retail, any kind of retail, really. Again, I've never worked in food service. I imagine food service is probably the worst, because everything is so quick, and it's also people are dealing with food. You know what I mean? So they get real, food. I think people get real touchy about the most. Which is why, like, it's one of those things where it's like if you never worked retail or food service or either, it's like just be nice and respectful and just know that it's like this is a person's job. They may not even like their job, but they're doing most people I would argue, I don't really know if that's true actually. Most people try to do the bare minimum. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds bad, but I'm just saying that like most people will do the job as they're supposed to do it. Like it's rare that someone comes to work every day and decides to just not do what they're supposed to do like every single day. Like most people, no matter how much you like or don't like your job, you come in, you do what you're supposed to, and you leave. So it's like just try to be respectful. That's really all it is. If they're not being respectful to you, then that's one thing. But if they're simple mistakes happen, you know what I mean. So it is what it is. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know what other videos you want me to check out. And until next time, make sure to watch more cartoons.